Hey, what's up? Hello, hi, how's it going? If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. So here's the 411. The kids aged up. We're in a whole new generation. We have a wedding to attend, and it's a lot. It's a lot from the planning to the setup to the execution. There is, I think, almost 2 hours of madness of me trying to get this wedding together. It was a whole mess. But anyways, while I was sorting through my recording folder, I found this cute little hour-long rant about the one and only De La Dozen, which you will see very shortly, very longly. You'll see in the next episode who Dela is now compared to then. But yeah, I figured I would just serve up multiple birds on one stone and throw on the home renovations that I did as well as their makeovers, and hopefully that covers everything. Hopefully I don't just have a bunch of dead footage in the middle being like, stare at this black screen. I'll try to include as many screenshots to make this a picture book, but just in case you miss it, they are always on my TikTok, the Lavender Supernova. You'll see a lot more frequent updates on this family and a lot more goofy tidbits. So sit back, relax, and yeah, enjoy. And I'll see you in the next episode for the wedding. And that's really the funniest part about Dayla being Dawn's kid, right? That she is really the only child, other than Delilah, that looks exactly like the rest of the family. Like, she dead on reminds me of Diana, reminds me of Damiana. She looks exactly like them. And that must hurt, doesn't it? That must hurt that he almost had a family with, I don't know, literally the child of his dreams. He had the chance to start over again with another child, and he didn't take that. He didn't take that. Okay, not to mention, okay, Dayla is supported. Okay, it's not like she don't have no daddy. Okay, Nicholas is right there. Nicholas is the loving and attentive father that she definitely needs and has. And it just throws me how none of the other kids quite look like the pinnacle of the Dozen family genetics like Dayla. It's always the eldest child, or even like Diana, for some reason. They all have this like rounded face with these specific features and the same dark brown hair and slightly tanned skin. And it's just. I think of how Don divorced his wife because they couldn't have kids naturally, only for him to go out and have a kid who like is the child of his dreams. Like, Dayla's a painter, she's an outdoorsy girl, she is very much a devoted family person in her own way, but is still very much an introvert. She is very much Dawn's dream daughter, and he still, and that's the kicker, that he isolated himself so far away from this family that he'll never get to know that. He'll never get to know that Dayla is basically his clone and his copy in the worst way possible, and that she looks exactly like his dead mother. But no, you couldn't stay long enough to see your child become, I don't know, a fully fledged person. He doesn't even know what Dayla looks like now. Okay, because she really, really looked like Dawn when she was little. But now she looks 1000% like her aunt and her grandmother. And it's like, he got the do over with Nymeria. He got the full do over when he had Nymeria. I get it that he was like depressed that Laren left. Like, if you've ever seen Archer, how Archer was like bent over backwards over Svetlana, and when she died, he was like broken up and basically like crashed out, changed his entire identity. Like, Dawn pulled an Archer for what? For what? Just so you can ignore your other daughter from the woman that you claim is the absolute love in your life? She's a vampire. You're not in love with anything other than like I don't know, charm and magic. You are in love with nothing. And now your daughter's here repeating the exact same pattern as you of being a cheating piece of simply because she doesn't truly believe that the people or the dudes she, because unfortunately Dayla is straight, the guys that Dayla chooses to pursue, they never like her. They don't like her. They just kind of want her, right? She's the eldest child, right? If anybody's gonna inherit the most from the dozens, it's going to be Dayla. After all, this whole lot is in her name. She's absolutely beautiful. She's so fun to be around, super creative. She always got the green on her, period. And yet, all these boys, none of them like her. None of them like her, but they want to date her so badly. And when she tries so hard 2 seconds in to be like, okay, I'm gonna be faithful, I'm gonna be devoted, I'm gonna try to like work with you, they turn around and they're like, no, you gotta give me this, no, you gotta give me that. Let's recap, okay? Because Hector Benali, right, her first boyfriend that she met in Sulani, I think on vacation, right, going to her ancestral lands, okay? Hector Benali, she thought this must be written in the stars. I met him in the place where part of my ancestors are from. This is really it. But because of the language differences, like, he just completely did not want to talk to her and kept flirting up Delilah. And that is becoming a pattern of like all of Dayla's rebounds eventually wander over to Delilah to try and disturb her peace. For what? For what? For what? And that's the backward part, right? That's the backwards part. I know you dated your sister's friend behind her back, and that may have even been her crush, but at least at least Dayla tried to be upfront about it, you know? Delilah, every time that's happened, because Hector Benali did swing around, like, men will, not men, these are boys, they'll try to swing around, because if they don't get Dayla after treating her like trash, talking about some, why you never say, come and see me for once, come and see me for once, it's because she's busy. She's busy. Okay, she will one day be the matriarch of this freaking family. Look at how many kids she's got to juggle. And you want to ask, come see me, come see me. Oh no, I don't want to cuddle tonight. Like, I don't know what's up with Dayla and attracting all these like boys who want to be pretty princesses or something. Because you know the epidemic they talk about on TikTok of men having like the sassy man apocalypse and being like, I want to get treated like a princess, I want to get treated like one of the girls. Okay, why can't my woman pay for me, why can't my woman protect and provide for me? That is the exact kind of boys that Dayla runs into, because at first, right, they seem all golden retriever, all, I don't know, like a knight in shining armor, romantic, until they pull, what was his name, Frankie, pull what Frankie pulls. Mind you, I will say part of that was Dayla's fault. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you, oh, Dayla's such a victim, oh my gosh, she's just so unlucky in love. Because at the end of the day, girl, you shouldn't be forcing people to love you. You shouldn't try to like force them to only go where you want to go, try to essentially buy their love with what you have. Like, no. But the way that Frankie strung her along and had her literally sweating trying to keep their relationship, quote unquote relationship, from Delilah, only for him to suddenly like get cold when she's like, I kind of don't want to, do substances with you anymore. I don't want to be about that anymore. If you hear me packing up stuff, it's because I have my lunch in front of me. I'm not about that anymore. I really feel like I might be in love with you. And frankly, Frankie would have been her high school sweetheart, okay? I feel like Hector was her elementary school sweetheart, but Frankie would have been her high school sweetheart. But as soon as she started cutting off the energy, he started to turn and be like, okay, well, we're just gonna sleep at your house. oh no, I'll just go home in the middle. He started being real pissy. He started being like, oh, well, I guess I can't spend time with you. Oh, sorry, I'm going out with Delilah. Oh, I'm going to the festival. I guess you can't go. Like, suddenly he started being real buddy, buddy, buddy with Delilah again, only to, only to get real cozy with Rhaenyra. Get real cozy with the fourth sister, okay? Because Nymeria tried it with him, okay? Nymeria tried it. She was like, he's so cute. He's so not all American, because I use that to describe Alexander. He's so like Wattpad bad boy, if that makes sense. Frankie was very Wattpad bad boy. And he didn't like Nymeria. I'm thinking he didn't like Nymeria because she's quieter. She's more reserved than the other three sisters. And Frankie was just like, I kind of like the drama. I kind of live for the drama. Not that Dela is drama, but more so he wants the HBIC. He wants the HBIC for free. Okay? And he skipped over her to go straight to Rhaenyra, which they're now, I think, on the border of dating. They're kind of close, kind of not. Like, and the way that hypocrite, I'm calling hypocrisy, hypocrite on Delilah's part, being like, Dela, you can't date my friends, he's my crush or whatever. And then after she kind of found out and was like, okay, you guys just don't spend time together. Don't. Because this is my friend, this is my friend group, you're my sister. I don't want to blend those two worlds together. I need peace from my family. Then Rhaenyra starts dating Frankie, and Frankie is not being secretive about it at all. He literally talks to Dela about Rhaenyra and about them. And now that it's Rhaenyra, now that it's somebody that Delilah feels is beneath her, she's like, oh, that's fine. Oh, that's fine that you're dating her. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. You guys are so cute. You're dating my little sister? That's so fine. Even though, like, the age gap is, I don't know, that's weird. That's weird. But now they've started to, like, cut Dela out of their little, I don't even know what kind of circle is going on with the siblings, with their little clique circles, but I'm not for it because Dela always winds up in the arms of a man. She always ends up in somebody else's arms because outside of her siblings, right? Outside of her siblings and her plug, if you don't know what a plug is in American terms, it is somebody who supplies substances to you. You purchase from them. They may get it from another person. So it's not like Dela was like really in on the network. She is friends with her plug and her family. And her many, many, many boyfriends. And I'm just like staring at her now because I'm staring at a screenshot at her like a psychopath, like I'm a mother and she's left the nest. Dela, I feel like, is incredibly lonely. I feel like even though she does surround herself with nature. I feel like she surrounds herself with nature because animals and insects, they don't have opinions of you. They don't, I mean, some animals care if you have favorites, but animals aren't like people. They're not going to get mad at you for playing the wrong cards. And I feel like she likes the comfort of others simply because she's used to being surrounded by people. She's used to having Nicholas's attention. Weirdly enough, even though she wasn't like the main kid, she was Nicholas's favorite for the longest time because she was the eldest. And then that was split with Delilah, split again with Nymeria, split again with the twins, split another time with Balon until Dela, even though she has the best relationship with Nicholas. I feel like her trying to push for that independence while still desperately needing that reassurance is the reason why she has so many boyfriends. But like I said, none of them like her. None of them truly like her. They'll do a little something something, but then as soon as she tries to hold on to them, they just dip. They just dip, bro. They straight up dip out. They don't care no more. And she'll let them go easily, right? But I think it's starting to like hit her upside the head that her ex and her exes keep going back to her sisters. Like, for frick's sake, it's fine for you to move on. It's not fine for you to move on with people in my house. And it's even worse that, like, she shares a little courtyard with Dayla, a little courtyard that she didn't want, which they were a lot closer at the time of the construction of their houses, but now it just seems like a bittersweet reminder that she and Delilah are not one. They are not that close anymore. Like, they used to share a room as kids, but now I think they genuinely cannot stand being around each other. They like having their own room and their own space. And since Delilah has taken over as the head of the household, really stepped up to be second mother, and she has the closer relationship with all of the siblings, surprisingly, Dayla is kind of cut out of that. She's kind of cut out of that. Like, I'll see if I can find the clip. This isn't to speak on the girls themselves. I'm just referencing this situation as kind of an analogy. There's one clip of the K-pop girl group Twice, and somebody asked them, like, oh, is there a group chat? And the leader of their group, Jiho, she's like, oh, no, I don't think there is. And her second in command, Nayeon, who Nayeon is the oldest, but she's not the leader. She's like, oh, yeah, there's tons of group chats. And she's like, oh, yeah, there's some things we don't tell you because you're the leader. So casually. And, like, and the way that Jihyo was just like, oh, kind of sad. Like, oh, so it's business, not personal. Now, that's not to speak anything on Twice themselves. Those girls are incredibly close, but these girls in the Sims that I'm talking about are sisters. Their relationship is a lot more complicated, and it feels like Dayla is sitting on this iceberg by herself. All of her younger siblings are like in a clique with each other, which she tried to do the whole, like, or hasn't tried. She's trying to bring back, Call of the Wild, which is a club, that an exclusive members only club that was started by, who was it, Elias? Yeah, I think Elias Dozen, her grand great uncle, someone, I'll show the family tree right now. He started that exclusive membership club for those who really enjoyed the outdoors. And Dawn missed his chance to be part of it, but Dayla's in it, Dante's in it, the younger siblings are in it, but she just doesn't connect with them. For such an outgoing person, she's so deeply introverted. And oddly, I feel like Dayla has become the self insert of the generation. It used to be, who was my last self insert? Diana? Just because she's so freaking beautiful. She is so unbelievably beautiful. Literally so beautiful, so vibrant as a person, but it really does feel like the rest of the household regards Dayla as the other child. Which is weird. Even though in their head, in their canon, right, all the kids except for Nymeria believe that Nicholas and Hannah are their parents. They are all blood siblings. They all know that Nicholas had an uncle. His uncle had a baby. That baby is Nymeria. Nymeria is our cousin, but she is like our sister cousin. But instead of Nymeria being on that floating iceberg, it's Dayla. And I feel like it's because she really doesn't connect with them anymore. She doesn't connect with her siblings anymore because she doesn't have anything to give to them. She used to help with homework, help with food and all of that, help with cooking, dinner, getting them ready. They all lived cramped and crowded and forced together in one giant mansion. And she was essentially forced to give more of herself than she had, but now that she can't give more of herself, they are just like, oh, you're on your own little iceberg, okay, that's fine. It's depressing. And the boy you see in front of her, Devon Isles, her latest love interest, he is not interested. He has been creeping on her since high school. Like, she took a little college tour, as like sophomores typically do, and Devin was already in college, right? It's the same thing with Damiana and Frank, except Damiana was actually in college. She had the same classes as Frank, so it wasn't as creepy. But I feel like Devin Isles just sees Dela as a way to climb himself up the ladder of his career. You know, he's gonna tote that doesn't he's gonna tote that dozen family name wherever he goes. Devin would be the type to take Dela's last name, which I'm not predicting anything at the time of this recording. I'm really not predicting much for their relationship because, like I said, Dela has a lot of deep connections with these dudes because of when they came in at the time of her life. You know, Frankie was there for her when her mother died. But as soon as the tears stopped and she didn't really need a shoulder to cry on, she need a shoulder to cry on. She needed, I don't know, a body to hold. As soon as that was over, he was just like, bye. Uh, bye. I'm not doing this no more. Which is wild. 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 They only like her for her status. But then when they peep inside of her life and get closer to her, they're like, oh, that's actually going to take a lot more commitment. I think, what is it? Dayla's not avoidant attached. She is anxious avoidant attached, I believe. Like, Delilah is anxious. She has an anxious with two X's attachment style. Okay. Even though her and Dayla don't get along, if Dayla were to ever even think of moving out of her house, Delilah would actually pick up the house and throw it on her because you're not living without me. You're not living without me. I may not F with you, but you're not moving. So it's this weird state of arrested development that Dayla's in where nobody wants her to move forward and move on and become anything different than she already is. But they're also saying we don't like you as you are. We don't. Because honestly, the smoking isn't the problem. It's that she's just more distant. She's less tuned in. They just don't like who she is now, but in order to change, they have to let her go and be that person that they don't like. And then the boys that she liked just need to leave her alone. I swear. All that she dates, all Delilah dates are narcissists. She just dates straight narcissist after narcissist. How, girl? How? How could somebody as beautiful as you fall for somebody who doesn't even look at you? Like, oh my gosh. I have the same moments with Dayla that I do so many times across this legacy where I'm just literally my game is fully paused. I'm just in tab mode, staring at how beautiful this person is and how complex this person is, but how they just want to toss it away. Like, I won't say Damiana tossed away her dreams. Like, her grandmother did not toss away her dreams. Damiana got to be the scientist of her dreams and, you know, got to be the mother and the grandmother later on in life. But that was really Frank that kind of forced that uneven split of parenthood. And I can't even go into their relationship right now because that's oh my gosh. I don't even know what to call it. Dayla's grandmother, Damiana, her husband Frank was like a stay-at-home husband, a stay-at-home father. And even though they deeply loved each other, it never felt like true love. It felt like obligatory love that comes after you've already fallen in love with somebody and built a life with them. Like, yes, you're happy and you don't really have to compromise on anything, but that wasn't really the best that you could do, and you know that. And Frank died before her, so I guess we get the last laugh. And she never got with anybody afterwards, which I do regret. For most of my legacy, once their spouse dies, I will not push them to get remarried or even find another love interest. Like Nicholas right now is still very tattered. He's still, even though at this point in the story, it's been years since Hannah died, I feel like he's still very hooked on her memory. Like, he will not ever be able to look at another woman with love and not see Hannah, his first and only love, you know? And it's even worse because that was his first love, his first girlfriend, his like I said, I'm not going to call what's going to happen later on in this legacy, but you know, for situation's sake, we'll say his first wife. You know, he has five, six. He has a household of children with Hannah. So I feel like he can't look at anybody else and feel the same kind of love that you feel when you, like, got through the trenches with somebody and had this whole life built just to suddenly have it pop away one night. And the Dozens holding on to the love that they don't have is such a prevalent theme that I feel like they can't ever shake it. I don't know why it gets passed through their generations that... Why am I tearing up for them? Because it's like, girl, y'all can have the love that you want if you stop trying to save face. You can have someone that loves and appreciates and cherishes you that you don't have to feel like you're tied to eternally. Like, the Dozens and their sense of love is for some reason all encompassing. And I feel like it's because of how they're raised generation to generation of, yes, I'm incredibly close to my parent, but we don't really have a connection. I'm their best friend, but they're not mine. You know, it's sad. And then they end up crawling after love interest. Not crawling. Child. They end up... One ends up crawling after their love interest, and the other ends up eternally shattering the happy life that the first one could have had. Like, that's a prevalent theme in this family. And then the other siblings just end up single and alone forever. Mark my words, this generation is where the siblings are actually gonna get dates and spouses, because I want them to have lives and people. We are the only Dozens in this world. Like, the other Dozens are dead, or... Yeah, because Emmeline didn't have any kids. They are the only surviving Dozens of this save. Wow. No, wait. Because Diana counts as one of them, and now we have Diamond, and that's okay, but... I don't even know where I'm going with this part of the tangent, but... Here she is once again... looking at a man, and I know this face. Your Sims, they may be characters, but guess what? They're people. They're their own little people. When I say they have facial expressions and personalities that aren't pre-programmed in the game, I mean it. Okay? And it may just be because I'm storytelling around them, but look at the face that Dayla has right now. Look at this face. This is the face of... This man just talked out the side of his mouth to me, and I noticed it, but I'm contemplating not doing anything. Because, of course, Dayla is also... Because, of course, Dayla is a human. She is a human woman with needs, okay? It's not like she is not just talking to them just because she wants to lay up next to them. But, like, here's the thing. I feel like Dayla is a lover. She's a lover, not a player. She's only a player by the rules of the game, bro. She's a lover. And then Nymeria is the opposite. Nymeria says, oh, I'm a lover, I'm a lover, I'm a lover, but plays the field hard. She's just not good at playing the field, so she's got to call herself a lover. You can only have one person at a time. That's why you're a lover instead of a player. Okay, but Dayla, she can get any boy that she wants, but none of them will ever truly want her, want to keep her, want to have her in her entirety. They're just like, no, I see the glimmer and sparkle of the Dozen family. And I feel like that's why they end up walking on over to Delilah, because they're like, oh, this must be the Dozen family sparkle that I'm looking for. And then there's Delilah. Delilah 100% would be the combination of Shira 7 and the Wizard Liz put into one body. You could never get one over on her. That, and she's gay. So, like, she has her day one. She has her day one. Delilah has never wanted anybody else but Aurora, and Aurora is just a kindred soul. She's kooky in the way that Rhaenyra is, but calm in the way that Balon is. She is outgoing like Delilah, but weirdly introverted and supportive like Alexander, and also just a little bit mysterious like Nymeria. Aurora is like the mix of all her siblings personality-wise, and I feel like that's love. I'm calling that right there. They're getting married. That's gonna be my gay wedding of the season. All these kids gonna come out looking like Targaryens. I just realized, if Dayla marries Devin, and if Delilah has science babies with Aurora, half of their kids are gonna come out looking like Targaryens, because this man has bleached blonde hair, and Aurora has white hair. Like, she was just born with white hair. So, the Dozens may turn into Targaryens. Maybe the Dozens are the secret Targaryens. I don't know, Dayla, she's so unluckily lucky in love. And I feel like if she were a normal girl, I wish I was a normal girl. If she wasn't a Dozen, Dayla would literally be living in the backwoods of Evergreen Harbor, doing her green stuff, running co-ops, being a really, like, grassroots type of girly. Because I feel like she wants to be a grassroots girly. She wants to. But without having the background of what people's problems are, she really doesn't know how to go about that. Her family is insanely wealthy, and she doesn't know a single thing to do about that. And she's so wrapped up in her own head and in her own drama. And I feel like Dayla really is that one person in the family who just wants to live a normal life. Okay, she works as a retail store manager, for God's sakes, and she loves that. She loves that. She immediately was promoted. She does well at that. I was gonna change to have her be a gardener, but she likes it. Likes it as in will never complain about going to work, doesn't get the, like, oh, I need to prepare for work challenges. No, she just does her little part-time thing and comes home. I feel like she was a very rough and tough kid growing up with, like, the dirt and the outdoors, and she very much belongs in Bridge to Terabithia, not House of the Dragon. She belongs in Bridge to Terabithia, not Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Frick. I feel like Dayla was meant to be in Bridge to Terabithia. Or what was that other movie? Dayla is meant to be in Adventure Time. She's meant to be an Adventure Time character, to be honest. But her as a child, she would have been in Bridge to Terabithia, but instead accidentally ended up on the wrong channel, and now she's in Vanderpump Rules. She's on Jersey Shore. Well, this isn't Jersey Shore. I'd say the Dozens are like Keeping Up with the Kardashians with 10 times more drama and 10 times more interpersonal drama, because, you know, keeping it in the family for some reason is a theme, but the second they branch out into the... And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with rich people, right? The second that the dozens branch out and fall in love with other people, everybody is scheming on their asses. Everybody is scheming. When I said it's House of the Dragon, they're really the Targaryens. The second they marry outside the family, everybody's plotting on them. Everybody's plotting on them. Everybody's plotting, how can I take this? How can I change it? How can I use it for myself? And that's not to say that they're in the right for having this money. I only excuse the dozens as millionaires, as rich people, and the 1% because I personally have worked on their journey all the way up, and I know that this generational wealth was built through hard work and grit. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm not like, eat the rich when it comes to this family. That's because I worked for this. They didn't cheat anything. They just kept building off of each other's wealth, which, call that a Nepo baby because it is, but one thing you could never say was that they paid for it. Okay, Nicholas started off at level 3, but he sure as hell didn't start off at the top of his career. I know that's right. Is weirdly missing Hannah. Like, not weirdly, that's her mother. Like, Dayla was kind of the opposite of what Hannah wanted in a daughter, while Delilah ended up being like the perfect girly girl, the perfect pretty girl, the perfect popular cheerleader, you know, the A grade student and everybody's favorite. She was a little socialite like Hannah, but Dayla was just her little potted cactus. Delilah was like, what is it, the Pangea, Panthera, the pothos. Like, Delilah was the variegated pothos, and Dayla was the potted cactus. In Delilah's eyes, through Hannah's eyes. Or, that's how Dayla thought that Hannah thought. But still, she's like, I still miss my mother. I still miss, you know, having a whole family. And at least having the time to be with her dad, too. Because you forget that now there's all these other kids that are needing of attention. Even though they're teenagers, they still swarm around Nicholas. It is the cutest thing on this planet. Because my other generations of kids, trust me, baby Damiana had her own wing of the house. I kid you not. They built an entire wing of their mansion just for Damiana, just for Elias and the kids. Like, oh, good times. Oh my gosh, my heart. My heart hurts. Oh no. I just got a flashback of renovating their house to make the wing for Damiana and her siblings, because I'm like, I'm so excited. It's generation 3. And now I'm playing Damiana's grandmother. I mean, Damiana's granddaughter. Wait, no. No. Damiana's grandkid would be Nicholas. This is her great-grandchild. I have been playing these Sims for so long that I have witnessed the complete conception, birth, aging, and death, and ending of the story, and epilogue of multiple Sims' lives. I've essentially read most of the series. I've read the entire book for these people. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the present sure is a funny concept. Because I could not ever imagine Dayla being old or having kids or even what her children would be like. I can't imagine her being a grandmother because it's so far in the future. I can't even imagine like Dayla's great-grandchildren. But then her own great-grandmother was so long ago. Like I said, I've been playing this family for 3 years. And that's mainly because I take giant breaks in between. I won't play them for like 3 months, come back, complete a generation, need time off again. It's just time passes. Time passes so hard. And these little Sims have such short lives. And I've witnessed so much of it. It's like, I know where your entire family line started. Is that not weird? This feels like another awkward day with my dog. It's just like, girl, we've been through this for 4 generations. Stop loving people who only show you love when they need you. Dayla doesn't get love bombed. She gets love sprinkled. And then she's like, oh, he's the one. Oh, I vibe with him. Oh, I need to... I don't know. She's not boy crazy, but she is one of those people that falls in love a little easily, but then quickly falls out of it and tries to, like, step in between the fence. And it's just not working, girl. And she keeps bouncing between love interests. And I just now realized I outfitted Dayla's home to be a very social, gathered place. But she really doesn't have more than 1 or 2 people over. She hasn't thrown a party yet because she doesn't have many friends. Like I said, siblings and boyfriends. And apparently ex-boyfriends. I feel like because Delilah has a whole friend group that doesn't just include her sisters. Her best friend is Emma Suarez. Rhaenyra has who's Rhaenyra's best friend? Diamond? Who's Nymeria's best friend? Nymeria is to herself, period. She's dating their cousin, kind of, not really. It's a situationship. It was a one-time only type thing. It's awkward. It's that type of thing. Alexander is just a friend to the world and a floater. And Balon is still my baby. And he'll always be my baby. Like, Balon's a little grown man, okay? He's Dexter. But he's my baby. And that's the point. He's my baby. And Dayla was my baby. And I'm like, girl. I feel like she's had enough. I've had enough. After she has her little stint with Devin. And then we have Harvest Fest, where I feel like a lot of tensions are gonna come to the surface. Just a little minor tiff. I'm not calling it, but she needs space from this goddamn family. She needs space and time. She needs space, time, with length and height away from this family. She just needs to escape this clique that they formed with each other. Because the Dozens themselves, even though they have cliques within their family, the main clique is them. It's like y'all only have 1 to 2 friends outside of your family, which for some is pretty okay, but for them, it just holds them hostage. Like, I just remember Damiana having to move back into the family home with baby Dawn. I don't even think baby Diana was on the way. Was she was the science baby. I don't even think. I think Diana was born after Damien died. Yes, there are a lot of D names. Why? Because they come a dime a dozen. Oh! Ahaha! You get the meme now. They come a dime a dozen. They repeat each other's horrible mistakes without ever learning or changing or becoming different people or realizing that you're relying upon the wrong kind of support. And I feel like Dayla, since she's getting older and she feels like her responsibility as a big sister got circumvented from her, that she needs to find a new role in life other than being Hannah Jr., other than being Dawn Jr. Dawn Jr. That was the real Freudian slip. My baby, my poor child, my sweet summer child. Ever since they were children, Alexander has been like the extrovert to Nymeria's. That's who they're best friends with. Nymeria and Alexander are each other's best friends. That's why I couldn't think of who their best friends were, because they are each other's. And I think Balon is Diamond's best friend, whatever. He has always, when Nymeria wanted to be alone, isolate from people because of her, like, growing vampirism, he would not let her do that. He would not let her do that. I have a picture of them sleeping in the little downstairs tent. I had never seen that before. None of my other toddlers ever slept in that little tent together. It'll always be like one child or one toddler, but like he was always with her. And then like when she was still figuring out the whole vampire thing, she fed from him too much. She at the time of this recording, presently, she keeps draining him beyond what he can handle. And I feel like Alexander, he cares about Nymeria. He cares about her deeply. Like, that's his best friend. That's his sister cousin. Targ's gonna Targ, I guess. That's his sister cousin. And he cares about her deeply, which I feel like as younger teens, they mistook for romance. Like, don't shoot the messenger. They not technically related. They are technically, they not technically, whatever. That it's now turning into a situation. It's very much turning into Nymeria is overly relying on Alexander in a very unhealthy way, and that includes for companionship, because she, like I said, wants to call off the whole thing with Carolyn, because she's just like, I was feeling her for one night, but it ain't really it. These kids need to go out and party, but I know they would never party together. One, because Rhaenyra and Delilah, they do hang in the same group, but I feel like Rhaenyra, if she had the choice of who to hang out with, would take Nymeria, Alexander. If Balon were a teenager, she'd take Balon, and Diamond. Whereas Delilah is taking everyone. There's always too many people, and Delilah's just taking no one, but I feel like she thinks that finding love is going to find another place in her life, because also, like, her best friend is her father, right? And of course, Nicholas's best friend is Dante, his brother, but I feel like Dayla witnessed a love story with her parents and how Nicholas was always so caring and attentive, and then she feels like she blew that whole thing up. She blew it up in their faces, because of course, not long after that, Hannah, we'll go watch episode 6. Go watch episode 6. I'll include the link to episode 6 here. But that whole thing with Hannah happened, and Dayla probably blames herself, even though her siblings don't know about the whole getting caught smoking thing. So of course, nobody blames Dayla. Nobody blames Dayla but herself. And I feel like she feels like she destroyed the ultimate love story with her parents, because her family has a bad history of not being too good at love. Notoriously, they are very, very trifling when it comes to love. And she broke up the dozen family love story. She broke up the love story of a century. And now seeing Nicholas not sulking, but seeing how he is obviously very sad and hiding it, it's like seeing a seagull without its bonded partner. It's sad. And she just longs for the connection that they had now that she is older. She doesn't really long for her parents necessarily to be together, even though, you know, she'd have her mother back in a heartbeat. I feel like she now wants what she feels like she destroyed. She wants that love story, and ironically, she keeps finding people that are exactly like her mother. How her mother was behind the scenes is exactly how these boys are. Exactly. Just like using people and trying to cut around and then cutting your losses. Like, Dayla really does have Nicholas's heart. weirdly enough, even though they're cousins. They're cousins? I don't know. That's his daughter cousin, but they know that they're cousins. Or Freudian slip, they know or they think they're father and daughter, but she has Nicholas's heart. She is sweet exactly like him, and though she didn't have his temperament as a child or as a kid, she has his heart, and it's very sensitive and it keeps breaking often. Nicholas didn't have to go through the repeated heartbreak. His only heartbreak was losing Hannah. But it's like you can't undo the past. Once you break an egg, you can't put back together the shell. So we're just gonna be stuck for now seeing how, number one, Dayla recuperates this need for, I need to change her aspiration. In fact, that is exactly what we're doing right now. We're changing her aspiration. Fuck a botanist. Fuck a botanist. Fuck a botanist. She wants her soulmate. Have a romantic partner, girl, you have several, like I said. You got several. And none of them are working. This is a more dramatic angle. This is Devin. Oh my gosh. And every time she tries to flirt with him, he's just not having it. She's like, oh, I'm really wanting like a relationship right now. Is it something that I said? I'm really wanting a relationship right now. And he's like, no, that's not what I want. I can't have that. And she's like, well, just anything would work, because I really like you, Devin. Don't add that to your conflict resolution. Delilah was caught using her phone to look up answers during a quiz today. She got sent to the office. Have her apologize. A failed quiz should do it. Retake the test with no phone. Why would she apologize to the class? Cheating is bad, yes, but just retake the test with no phone. Okay. You should have studied. Responsibility decreases. They have great conflict resolution, and they use it against everybody else. No, I swear to you, I don't have crabs. See, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. He hates her. Can y'all see that? No, you cannot. Whatever. He hates her. And insulted her, but still... STD scores. SDT. Delilah just got the results from her SDT success determination test. Is that the one you cheated on? You cheated on a test to determine your success? What were you Googling? How to be successful? What were you Googling? Self-help tips? After I just got done going on a whole rant about how Delilah is like the most promising. She's a straight A student, perfect cheerleader. Look. In all due respect, since Hannah passed, Delilah... Oh, I actually got the name right this time. Delilah has just been, like, not entirely her popular girl self. Like, how Regina was when... I haven't watched Mean Girls. You can flame me all you want. I've never watched the movie in its entirety, just sat down watching it. Whenever Regina starts to, like, gain weight and, like, put on sweatpants, I feel like that happened to Delilah, but unlike Regina, she's forcing herself to still look presentable. Ugh, girl. Her scores aren't quite as high as she hopes they would be. Should she sign up to retake the test or just be happy with what she hits? Like I said, she forces herself to do better and be better. So retake the test. All high achievers take the test at least twice, some 5 or 6. You'll get the result you want eventually. Okay. What do you mean awkward encounter? Get insulted. No, do not go ask. Leave him alone. Shoot. I'm about to lock this office. Look at this. Toys. projects. I'm sure somebody's homework is here. There's probably a plate of food. The kids will always be all up in his space, 25/8, 20/47, 20/90/80. But how are you not feeling us? But this is what I'm talking about. They love her, but they don't like her. Do another pickup line. She's just trying to get lucky before her siblings come home, all up in her business. I think something just fell from the ceiling. And now, I hope it wasn't a bug. I hoping it wasn't a bug. I hate bugs. I hate bugs. They gave me the heebie-jeebies. They gave me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like them. I don't like them not one bit. Not one bit. Not one bit. That is an urn. Why do you not like us all of a sudden when you were feeling us 2 seconds ago? Like, hold on. Are you just like... Cause what's the sitch? What's the dealio? What's the happenings? What's your romantic preferences? What do you even want? Why are these just out on the table? Did anybody buy the period products? I think it was Nymeria. Or it was definitely Delilah. Frick. We should come up with nicknames. Cause D and Day are still too close together. Hannah Jr. and Nicholas Jr., I should say. Arrested Development 1 and Arrested Development 2. Are you even into women? Ask about your romantic interests, because what, do you not like me? Get again. But she doesn't have that many friends, except for Celeste, her plug. Surprisingly, friends with Aurora, because Aurora is just that good of a person that she's friends with all their siblings. No new grades. Balon is, of course, the top student at Landgrab Elementary, period. Because Balon is just, they're them. They are them. By the way, if you haven't picked up on it yet, Balon's pronouns have changed from he, him, to they, them. I will put a little graphic. Balon is trans, if you didn't know. Not to out Balon. Should I do a coming out video for them? Balon is trans. So that transition, I feel like, will happen gradually over time, since there's not really a way to show that other than like his style right there, their style right now. And their aesthetic is just very super spacey and space age, because, you know, dad's an inventor and you're the smartest person alive. So yeah, I'm just gonna let them do whatever they want. She has cheer practice anyways. Poor Dayla. She is gonna send this boy home being like, you know what, we're definitely not close enough. We're not close enough for me to share my preferences. I'm asking if you're into women. Personal rift. You hit on me when I was a teenager, and now that I'm not a teenager and I'm asking like, oh, are you just not into women anymore? Because you were into me for like a hot minute and now you're just acting up. And he's like, no, it's fine. Bye. She's gonna spend time with Thimble, or whatever the heck this thing's name is, cause, man, they hate me cause I'm pretty and shit. Man, that's fucked up. If you want to come over, Brianna, that's fine. That is Hannah's sister. And I know what you're thinking, or no, that's Hannah's niece. I know what you're thinking. Nicholas would never, not with, he's very loyal. He's very thoughtful. She may just take a break from cheer. She's breaking out something crazy. Go conceal your acne before cheer practice. My Delilah. her face. The acne goes crazy in this family, and I'm never able to, like, fully get rid of it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Breaking out in pimples, whereas nobody else is, except for Nymeria. Nymeria has pimples, but that's just because she's one of those girlies who, like, 24/7. Apply some cleanser. She's just one of those girls that wears makeup 24/7, like the dark, heavy, gothic makeup, so she would also be bad about taking it off, because if you think about it, she's a vampire. She's a vampire. When do you take off your makeup? When do you take off your makeup? Because you never sleep, girl. She never sleeps. And do you like how I sized down the giant library and just made it a giant living room so we can give Nymeria her own library? I swear she's not the favorite child. She's not the favorite child. Okay, the favorite child got her own house. The favorite child got the most decorated and well thought out house with all the fun stuff in it. Okay, the second favorite child got the best looking house, but still got her own house, okay? And the least favorite child didn't get any decoration at all. He got a punching bag. Look, he got a punching bag. He has a hobby. He has a hobby. Speaking of hobbies, Nymeria is very, 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 very thirsty. And she has already sent Alexander the SOS text. Angry, unblessed. Does Alexander not deserve to get a blessing at the Festival of Youth? Who didn't bless you, baby? Who didn't bless you? I'll bless you. You're now blessed. Bless you. Who didn't give him a blessing at the Festival of Youth? Who? I'm about to call the school up right now. Right now. But she has sent... Go to cheer practice. Go to cheer practice. Go to cheer practice. Go to cheer practice. I don't know why it's glitched. I was in the middle of saying something. Oh no, Annabelle's sister passed away. You see, Roydale and Aberdeen, just kidding, his second mother, pseudo-mother, substitute mother is Annabelle. So, that's very, very sad. That's very, very sad. That's very sad. When do you age up? When do you age up? Next week. So, I'm not gonna have her quit cheer. You know what? If you don't want to go, I'm not gonna force you. Wait. Can we do it through here? Can we just go through here to make you go to cheer? You know what? If you don't want to go to cheer practice, that is completely and honestly on you. But the only thing I ask is that you go to your own house. Why are all the kids in Nicholas's area? Like, oh my gosh, I locked this door for everyone but Nicholas. That means y'all had to walk in through the entire house just to come use his stuff. That's wild. Who's in the tub? That's Rhaenyra. But yeah, Nymeria has sent the SOS text being like, I'm thirsty. I need a drink. And of course, Alexander will never say no. What's wrong with you? You needed a bath and some hygiene. You know what? Take a shower. It's not unusual to use your parents' shower over your own. I'm just saying that I've never done such a thing because that's weird and I have my own shower, but you know, privilege. Privilege is a funny thing when you have it. Nymeria wants to kiss Frankie. Like, is she gonna invite over Frankie? You know what? Chat with him online to see if he wants to come over and then actually invite him over. Give me a second to actually get situated with your siblings drama. I don't think we're going anywhere on this fine evening, but she is going to smoke. You know what? Heck yeah. Let's smoke. Sure, I offer you my wrist. Let's not say that. Gotta go fast. He looks exactly like Nicholas. That's crazy. He looks like Nicholas with a wider face, because I swear Nicholas's nose used to look just like that. And this is, of course, Asher Villanueva's nose, which, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like Asher's nose at first, but then I saw House of the Dragon, and Queen Rhaenyra played by Emma Darcy, and Emma Darcy's nose is perfect. Have I mentioned that I love aquiline noses? Have I mentioned that? Because they're freaking beautiful. Like, look at that. That's a sculpture. That's a sculpture right there. That's like a Roman statue. And like regular noses, right? Nymeria, she has my nose shape, but mine like goes in more, I guess. Nymeria has my nose shape, but mine is more like rounded. That's regular. That's just a nose. That's regular, right? But look at this. This has angle. This has art. I like it. Y'all with the aquiline noses need to stop shaving them down, because they look so cool. Also, your face looks funny when you don't have a big nose, because your face features are genetic. Your genetics pooled together for hundreds of years to make your face. That's hundreds of years of other people. Stop changing your face with plastic surgery today. It's disrespectful to the people who had to survive before you. Japchae, woman she, shang su zang shi samsung. Witness to a bully. Some kids at school are being mean to one of my friends. You have friends? I'm not saying that because of who you are, Balon. I'm saying that because I've only ever seen you speak to like 2 of your siblings. Balon is even more introverted than Dayla is. Like, I kid you not. Balon is a hyper introvert. They don't even be hanging out with their own siblings most of the time. Which, side note, if you want your Sims kids to be like closer to some than others, have them share a room. They'll end up talking to each other more than anybody. But that being said, Nymeria and I almost called her Alexandra. Whatever. Step in and stand up for your friend. Stay out of it and console your friend. Get an adult. Throw hands. What you mean you're being mean to my friend? They're one of your friends, self-proclaimed. You defend them. You stand up for your friend. And by the way, if you're looking at this being like, oh my gosh, just evolve the plants. These are out of season, so I can't evolve them. I can evolve this one, but not this one, even though it desperately needs to. Dayla's hard work paid off. Yep, all that hard work she did at her job to earn money to pay the gardener to do the work for her really paid off. Why is everybody coming to Dayla's house? Or just Nicholas? Nicholas makes an effort. He makes an effort more than everybody else to come visit Dayla in her house. The others will, like, come in her house, eat her food, kick their feet up on her couch, maybe shower, take a shit, and then go back in their own home. Like, oh, thanks. Thanks for using my new utilities to get your needs up. Delilah, go to your activity. I thought you liked cheerleading. What? You're a level 10 parent? That's wild, because you were a level 3 husband at best. No, come and sit. Alexander, if you want to, you can. So, come over here and use Delilah's... the fuck? Come use Delilah's shower. And he can just sell all of these, be helpful at least a little bit to Dayla and her garden before they come in to eat. Whoever else wants to join definitely can. He acquired the gardening skill. Actually, he's not going to do all that. Come sit and speak to your daughter. Ask her how her day was, even though she has work in an hour. She's so balanced. We love that. Work for Dayla starts in an hour. Wherever you're going, sweetheart, I guarantee you don't need to walk that far. Oh my gosh, there she goes to eat in the main house. She's so weird. Like, no, why are you going to go eat in the main house? Why? 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 Why make food just to go? I gave you a whole dining set not 2 seconds away. I feel like it's because Balon was sitting at the table, and your Sims will check for other Sims before they check for the closest table, which is stupid because she's gonna walk all the way back, isn't she? And then walk all the way over here again. I just wanted y'all to talk before you went to... Whose class schedule? Oh, I don't care. Acting skill level 4. And I'm not gonna lie to you, none of these kids are going to college. I'm tired of trying. I can't do it. I can see him crying. She has to go to work. She has to go. She's a manager. She's a retail employee, customer support +1. She can't miss this. She's important in the customer support community. But what comes with that level 10 parenting? Nicholas can perform the super efficient care interactions on newborns and infants to solve all their needs at once. Is it because this is, like, by the time they reach parenting skill level 10, they're supposed to be grandparents? So now they know everything that needs to be done? That's cute. While performing a lot of parenting duties, Nicholas can now enter full parent mode, where his own needs won't be much of a problem. Oh my gosh, that's incredibly useful. We're gonna exploit that! Alexander, other Nicholas Jr., what are you doing? Do what you wanna do. I feel like the way I built this house was a nightmare for the pathing in The Sims, because they just take the longest routes possible to get to everything. But on the bright side, they can walk through the hedges, apparently. Should I have Delilah quit? She's only a level 1? Girl, you were kind of almost a level 2. And all of her needs are bad. I'm gonna help you, girl. Help is on the way, dearie. Don't worry. Don't worry, I got you. Watch a movie. And we're just gonna have a quiet night in. In fact, when I say quiet, you say never. Quiet. No. Invite over Aurora. Wait a minute, weren't you supposed to invite over your mans? Your soon-to-be mans, your trifling mans who slept with your sister, who he still has not told her about. Unknown caller. The drop-off has been made. Don't be late. Wait, who is this? Haha, you just got pranked. Oh. She didn't invite him over. Y'all saw that, right? Wait a minute. Somebody get out the counter. Somebody get the psychic counter out. Somebody start a psychic counter of how many... Are the curtains a different color? Somebody start the psychic counter of how many times I have mentioned something and then the somethings, right? Wasn't it like, oh my gosh, what was it last time? I can't remember. I have to look back through the footage. But like right as something was happening, I was talking about it. And right as something was happening, I was talking about it. And then the thing was, why the hell? What? 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 Wait a minute. Sims 4, did you add color theory to the game? You sons of bitches. You added color theory to the game? Are you serious? Of all the features, you add color theory? Look at this. The lighting is different, so the color is different. That's why it looks off. Oh my god. Of all the things to add to this Am I recording this right now? Am I recording this? Of all the things to add to the game, you add color theory? Look at this. The color is different based on the light. They're all the same swatch. I don't know why I'm yelling about this right now. Look at this. I want the ombre because that goes with the style of her room. These are 3 completely different curtains. What the hell? What? Why is it green? Why is it green? Why would it be green? And now that's like a teal. Am I tripping? Are these not 3 different colors? Hold on. I was going on a whole different rant, but okay. Me talking about something, and then the second I'm talking about it, the things. And for example, I was talking about Frankie and suddenly remembered, hey, she was going to invite him over. What happened to that? Apparently, she's chatting to Frankie online at this very second. So I don't know who she's talking to. If he's standing there and she's chatting with him online, then who's chatting online? The sky's so pretty in the game right now. Wow. But he walks in. Nobody invited him. Just the second that he walks in, he's here. The second that I'm talking about him, he walks in. And the second that I'm reminded of him, he walks in. What in the psychic ability is this? Welcome to my channel. You will now experience what everyone else in my life does. I kid you not. Weird spiritual stuff happens to me 24/7. Weird spiritual occurrences happen 24/7 to me. And I guess now that you watch me, they're gonna happen to you too. And how it typically goes with me in real life soup. I'm gonna cut this out and throw it in a completely different rant. Okay, real life soup. Okay. I am a very spiritual person and spiritual things happen to me often. I'm not gonna get into that. You're gonna have to go to my other channel for that. Often when I start hanging out with people for a long time or an extended time, spiritual stuff starts happening to them too. And their intuition and whatever supposed psychic ability seems to strengthen, which is funny because I'm a dumb bitch. How do I have this much intuition? First kiss, immediately, you're just gonna swing open with that. My brain has been fried for so long that I am used to it. There it is. Kiss him, give him a kiss. Give him a kiss. Give him a kiss. Hey, this could be fun. Frankie Kalani wants to go to prom with Rhaenyra as friends. Does she want to go? If we say no, he's going to hold it against her, but I honestly thought they were the type to, like, not. That means he came to her house to ask if she wanted to go to prom. But of course, they don't have anything established. Like I said, they haven't even kissed yet. So of course he's gonna say like, oh, as friends. Shut up. Why are they kind of cute? He never asked Dayla to prom. He never asked Dayla to prom. He never asked her. You and Rhaenyra are barely romantic, and you darn near have a full romance bar with Dayla, and you never see what I be talking about. What they say when the water goes cold, it's 'cause someone else is in the shower. Bitch. When the water goes cold, someone else is in the shower. Of course she's gonna go to prom with him. How trifling. How extremely trifling. You never asked Dayla to go to prom. You never asked Dayla to go to prom. He's cute. He's kind of cute. You never asked Dayla to go to prom. So what, y'all are like boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever? Y'all don't even have matching aesthetics. Honestly, if you're, okay, I've already revealed my age, so this is not a surprise. If you're one of the Wattpad girlies, then you know that this is such the backward version of a Wattpad story. He's such like a classic, oh, his name is Ryder Colin. His name is like Casper Dean. And he's dating the cool, edgy girl with like tattoos and piercings who wears a short skirt. I'm looking at you, Barcode Tattoo. Because that is a hella Wattpad book. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the girl he's really in love with is the down-to-earth, I'm not like other girls girl. But this is reversed. I guess Frankie likes it a little wacky. Good for him, I suppose. Good for him, I guess. Good for him, I presume. What's there to be embarrassed about? Don't start that. Don't start it. Don't. You just asked her to prom. And he's irresistible. Immediately snaps out of his bad mood for her. I hate them. I hate them so much. I honestly hate them so much. I hope you get a teen pregnancy. In fact, that's what we're gonna do. Why is she thinking about marriage? Why is she thinking about... I was joking when I said teen pregnancy. I was joking. How trifling would that be? What exactly is Dayla's... Oh, it's almost all the way... Oh, you're lighthearted? You're lighthearted, but you're mean? How are you lighthearted and mean? How are you... And she doesn't even know everything about him. She don't even know the truth about him. She doesn't even know the truth. Let me see his traits. Timid. You're timid, mean, and lighthearted. Who does that sound like? Timid, but mean and lighthearted. What's that one boy's name from Big Bang Theory? Yeah. Just about that. Talking about, I'ma marry him. Let me move this so I'm not upskirting her. Because she is a teeny bopper, a little teeny weenager. By the way, do y'all love her room? I love her room. It's the most colorful and the most just wacky. And look at the fish. Look at the couches. She does everything weird. I meant for this to be like a little conversation pit. You know, her and her friends, if she does have friends. She's just related to like 90% of them. Yup. In fact, she is related to like 99% of her friends she's related to. One she was in the womb with. I love that she's best friends with Diana, too. I love that. That makes so much sense. Dayla, where is your girlfriend? Where is she? Aurora. Oh, look, it's Grandma. Oh my gosh, I hate that. I hate that she's Grandma now. I hate that she's Grandma. Diana is Grandma. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Aunt. She's really only Nymeria's aunt. And even then, are her and Nymeria close? Not at all. Not even for a single second. They are not. And Balon is only friends with his family. Only. Nicholas is his best friend. Which is wild. Nicholas and that cat are his best friends. Yet again, y'all are both in Dayla's house without her being there, and that's wild. But wherever Aurora is, I don't care. Immediately, like, that's what I'm saying. It's not just like, oh, I'm playing the game wrong and I'm doing the interactions wrong with Dayla so that she can't get a date. No, look at that. He was embarrassed 2 seconds ago. Have your first kiss, dang it. Stop with all the chatting and get on with it, you crazy kids. I hate them so much. Wow, I didn't take a screenshot of the first kiss. That's new. Should they go on a date? I feel like they should go on a date now. They need to like go out to eat, maybe go to the carnival afterward. Romance. Let's go on a date, a diggity date. Since y'all have just had your first kiss, now you're going to prom as slightly more than friends. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.